Since Fizeau's experiment was indeterminate, Arago's results had to be tested by another method. George Airy turned back to the stars. Advancing beyond Arago's and Fizeau's experiments, Airy had the ingenious idea of using two telescopes, filling the second with water instead of air. Based on previous experiments, Airy reasoned that the starlight coming through the water-filled telescope would move slower than in the air and thus refract more, causing the starlight in the water-filled telescope to bend outward toward the side of the telescope so that the starlight would not hit the eyepiece of the telescope. George Airy, like most everyone else at the time, presumed the Earth was revolving around the Sun. Hence, in order to compensate for the anticipated outward bending of the starlight as it went through the water-filled telescope, Airy assumed he would need to tilt the water-filled telescope just a little lower so that the star's light would reach his eyepiece and avoid hitting the side of the telescope. The same principle holds for one walking in the rain with an umbrella. One must tilt the umbrella forward in order to stop the rain from hitting his body.
To his amazement, Airy found that it wasn't necessary to tilt the water-filled telescope. It captured the same amount of light from the same direction as the air-filled telescope. The starlight certainly moved slower through the water, but it did not refract and hit the inside wall of the telescope. It went straight into the eyepiece.
This seemed to be a dramatic refutation of the heliocentric theory, for it appeared the Earth was not moving. A moving Earth would have made the starlight hit the side of the water telescope, but instead the starlight came straight into the telescope and hit the eyepiece without bending. Airy's experiment was dubbed Airy's failure. Effectively, the Earth appeared to be standing still in space, and, unlike before, the results could not be blamed on dragged ether or the limited speed of light. In fact, Airy's failure is one of the strongest evidences of geocentrism to date. In 1886, 15 years after Airy's experiment, the world-famous physicist Hendrik Lorentz wrote a paper titled On the Influence of the Earth's Motion on Luminiferous Phenomena, and commented on Airy's experiment. Even though he was devoted to heliocentrism, Airy's experiment made Lorentz admit this astounding statement, quote, "Briefly, everything occurs as if the Earth were at rest and the relative rays were the absolute rays." Unquote. Absolute rays means that the relative motion between the star and the Earth had no effect on how the starlight entered Airy's telescopes. Both telescopes thus acted as if the Earth were at rest. However, even though it seemed as if the Earth was motionless, heliocentric advocates were not about to give up.